You are what you eat. Sort of. We'll talk about that in this module. So this information comes from Chapter 16 of our textbook. The goals for this module are for learners to be able to identify the components of the human digestive system, to recognize the nutritional requirements of humans, and to describe how a person's diet provides both energy and building materials. So there are three main parts to our lecture this module. We'll be looking at animal diets and digestive compartments, take a brief tour of the human digestive system, and then talk about human nutritional requirements. Animals are heterotrophs. Organisms that must feed on other organisms. That word means other feeder. In animals, chemical digestion is contained safely within some kind of compartment. Some animals have something called a gastrovascular cavity. This is considered a more primitive digestive system, and really it only has one opening. That one opening functions both as the mouth and the anus for these organisms. Ingestion, or food goes in, it is digested, the nutrients are absorbed, and then any waste material is eliminated through that same opening, as opposed to organisms which have digestive tubes, in which there are two separate openings, a mouth and an anus, which are distinct from each other. Something like a hydra, which is a cnidarian, has a single opening that counts both as a mouth and an anus, whereas something like an earthworm will have a digestive tube. And luckily, us as humans, we also have digestive tubes. And yet, I do want to say, in the case of the hydra, it doesn't have taste buds in the same way that we do, so this isn't as disturbing a concept for them as it would be for us. So what's happening in these digestive compartments? Well, chemical digestion involves breaking polymers back down into monomers. This is inherently dangerous because animals are made of polymers, and if digestion is not contained, it could result in the digestion of the organism that's intending to be doing the digesting. Now, with animals, there are three main diets. They can be herbivores, meaning they consume primarily plant material. They may be carnivores, meaning they consume mainly other animals, or they may be omnivores, in which they regularly ingest both plant and animal material. And so an example of an herbivore would be a caterpillar. They eat primarily leaves. They do not have any prey items other than plants which they consume. Conversely, something like a cheetah is only going to feed on other animals. You don't see cheetahs and other big cats just grazing in a field or eating vegetables. And omnivores, humans are an example of omnivores. Now, we aren't the only omnivores, because bears, pigs, and other primates can also be considered omnivores. When we consider these three different types of diets, we notice that there are differences in the digestive systems of these organisms, herbivores versus carnivores versus omnivores. So the teeth and structures of an animal's digestive system tells us a bit about their diet. Having sharp teeth and a single stomach are important for carnivores, whereas wide, flat teeth and multiple stomach chambers are common for many herbivores. Now, omnivores, they will have a mix of these, where omnivores will have a combination of both sharp and flat teeth. Omnivores will have a single stomach, but a long path of short and long intestines which follow it. As I had mentioned, humans, other primates, bears, and pigs are all examples of omnivores. Now, that's not to say there aren't some humans who choose to live as herbivores, and our digestive system can support that, but it is not required or mandatory or necessarily better. Our digestive system is suited to consume both plant and animal material. In the next video, we'll look at the components of the human digestive system.